Hi, today's job is a bit of a stormwater investigation at this property. There's been another plumber out who's cameraed the line. Hasn't found any roots or any blockages, but we've had a lot of heavy rain on the coast, and the homeowner was saying that the downpipe here was backing up. I've cut a smaller hole in it so we can throw the camera down it, and also the drain cleaning equipment. I like to go from the curb when I'm doing stormwater, but I thought possibly there were some leaves caught at the base of this downpipe, so I thought it would be worth just jetting it. You can see the amount of water that's coming out. That doesn't look correct. It should be flowing a bit better than that. There's definitely a blockage somewhere. I did have the camera down there, and the camera had got a fair way down the line. But I thought possibly there was a clump of leaves just caught on a bend or in a junction. The rain was holding a fair bit of water, so I thought possibly that there were some leaves that were caught up in that. Just going to have a quick walk out to the curb to see how it's flowing. It was a really long driveway. It's quite a large house, a lot of storm water, a lot of potential for breaks, especially underneath this driveway. Lots of trees to the left there. Now, I would have expected that the drain would have been flowing a lot freer than that. It's that one there on the right. That's this property's curbside outlet. When doing stormwater, I always like to go from the curb. The only reason I went from there is because the other plumber had said that he'd had the camera from the curbside and hadn't seen any roots. So I decided to go from the curb. Now, the fact that the other plumber said he hadn't seen any roots, I was just expecting that it was just a clump of leaves that was blocking up and a bit of a soft blockage. I should be able to just send a nozzle down, get rid of that, and away we go. Rolling up the hose. Not doing a very good job. Get the nozzle box from the shifters, and we're off down the front. So I decided to go with a smaller sort of nozzle. I wasn't too sure of the condition of the drain, and I thought with the information I had, that nozzle would have been adequate to do the job. So just feeding it up. With drain cleaning, it's all about feel. I was slowly letting it up the drain pipe. I hadn't come across anything. Now this hose kept on being a bit of a problem because I hadn't wound it up properly. I'm on something there which didn't feel right. I thought possibly it could have been a step up to another junction, like a 45, or just a bit of a step up in the pipe. There wasn't a lot of flow coming out of the drain. I would have expected to be more free flowing. So I got it over that, what I thought was a bit of a step up. Just let the jetter do its thing for a while. I was expecting a lot more flow coming out of that drain. I thought by this stage I probably would have gone through any sort of soft blockage. There's a little bit of dirty water coming out as well. You can see it's discoloured, which always points towards a break in the pipe. So I'm a fair way up this drain at the moment, and it's starting to get a little bit dirtier, the colour of the water. A little bit better flow, but it's still not great. Pulling the hose out. Decided to go with another nozzle. I thought I'd possibly change over to that one there has a forward-facing jet and rear-facing jets. I decided to go with something that was just all rear-facing, but I thought I'd give this a bit of a clean down first. There was a lot of mud. It'll allow the water to flow a lot freer once I do clear the blockage, and I won't be working with water at my feet. Yeah, so here I'm changing over to what they call a grease ball nozzle. It's great for fat blockages and that sort of stuff, but also good for stormwater when you have a bunch of leaves, or it basically shoots everything out back down the drain. Being a small nozzle, can negotiate all these bends quite well. So you can see the colour of the water and what the nozzle does. It shoots everything backwards and send it all the way up back to around the location where the other nozzle was. And there I'm starting to get caught up on something. You can see the colour of the water is a little bit dirty. I was starting to suspect here that there was a break in the pipe. So I decided, instead of taking what the other plumber had said, I'd camera the line just to see what was going on. So I'm just walking back up the driveway to get the camera. Here I'm just throwing the camera up the line. I've left the nozzle in there so I know roughly where the problem is. I like to use the camera and the jetter in combination. So I come across the break. It doesn't shut up well on this camera. I actually didn't get any photos. There's some roots, quite long roots there. This is the break after I'd actually cleaned it, so you can see how many roots there. There was a lot of water in the line too. So knowing that I had roots, I left the camera back up there, and I was going to use the jetter and the camera in combination and clear them. This job will be a dig up. I'll replace that section of pipe for that customer, but because of all the rain we're having, I just wanted to get rid of all these roots because I couldn't get there for another week or so. You can see now the colour of the water. It's very sandy, also muddy, dirty water. So yeah, there was definitely a break. I persisted with that grease nozzle a little bit. It can be a great nozzle. It's not great for cutting roots. I just wanted to see how far up the line I could get. So some roots just there. You can see little bits of roots coming out of the drain there. So the water's very, very dirty. So definitely there was a break. I wasn't too sure if there was multiple breaks, but I had to clear those roots so I could see where the problem was. Yeah, very dirty water. And it's starting to flow a little bit better. So obviously I punched through the blockage. A little bit of roots there. Okay, I had changed the nozzle there. That's an American-made nozzle. It's pretty good for blasting forwards, and cutting through roots. But I decided to go with a reverse turbine nozzle, which is very, very good for cutting roots, but it's also very, very good for getting caught in drains if there's any breaks. And it's never great getting a nozzle caught in a drain. It can turn a good day bad very quickly. So I'm just checking it out here just to have a bit of a look. We're still holding a fair bit of water from memory. I couldn't see very much. I had to pull the camera out of the line because the reverse nozzle won't fit in there on 90mm stormwater with the camera head. But before I did that, I decided to locate where the brake was. So you'll see up here there's a pink mark just near my left foot. That's where the other plumber thought he'd got up to. He didn't. I don't think he had a locator. He just sort of roughly pasted out. I was expecting the roots to be around there, but they're down in this location. So I'm just going to mark it up for the dig up. What I'll do is I'll put an iota surface here so that we can camera from here and also jet from here further down the track because it's such a long driveway. That's the brake right there. Pull the camera out. And send up the reverse turbine. Okay, off with this nozzle. Great nozzle, this one. Used a lot for sewer breakages, sewer blockages, stormwater. It's one of my go-to nozzles. And we're going to put this bad boy on. Great nozzle, but does like to get caught up in drains if there's a break, and you'll see that just soon. You'll see the this first metre or so there was a split in the stormwater from, I'd say, cars driving over it, but and when I pulled it out, it ended up getting caught in that. There's a so here it is. That's where it's caught up. So I had to replace all that section. Just walking up, I was able to clear the line, get all the water out of all the roots, the majority of the roots. The first mark here was there's another junction there for whatever reason. I don't know what that is. I just marked that up, and that's where the break is. That one there. So that's the roots and the break. That's the roots that I pulled out of the line, and that's the repair. All done. Thanks for watching.